Hey, what's up, everybody? It's JayViper here, and the fix is officially in for the Gaming Awards, the once prestigious ceremony that went on every single year to crown a winner. Well, for the last 10 or so years, we know it's been a little crooked, it's been a little strange, but they are back to their old tricks of making sure that the outcome will be fixed and it will not actually echo the will of the gamers, our voice at all. And why do they even do this? Who even really knows at this point, but it's ridiculous. Let's get to it right after you like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell.
JayViper is awesome. He's so good looking. He's got the crowd in all.
So recently on X, Pirate Nation posted, who are the judges, the jury behind the votes? Well, it's a bunch of people that probably shouldn't really be near it. At least not to this extent, right? This is just way too many people on one side of the situation. This isn't a very diverse group. This is a hand-picked group. This is actually like a really bad group of people because it's a lot of people who just agree with each other and everything. And that doesn't make a very good jury. And I call it a jury because that is what the Game Awards are calling it. It can't be judges, they're the jury, which is an interesting term, but it is the term that they're using. So check this off. They lead off with IGN, famous for giving Stellar Blade a 7, Wukong an 8, and Veilguard a 9. You tell me in what world that makes sense, but they're on the jury, okay? We have Inverse, Jeff Gerstmann, kind of funny games who really have no business to be here. The LA Times, MinMax, PC Gamer, Polygon, VentureBeat, The Verge, Touch Arcade, What's Good Games, Game Rant, NPR, Pride.com, and Variety. What an incredible, diverse group of people who agree on everything. This is a complete sham. Grum gets into it over here saying the Game Awards is rigged from the start, and we've been calling this, right? With the way that they announced Game of the Year, they still haven't actually announced it yet. That's coming on Monday. We don't even know who it is, but they announced all the other things earlier in October. Why did they hold out? It's like maybe there was something coming out that they want to win really bad. What could they be that might not deserve it? The Veilguard. Oh, and speaking of, I think they now know it's bad enough to not win, so it could be interesting because IGN has been constantly posting articles that are walking back the 9. It's actually crazy, saying how trans is important, but it's awkward in this game, saying how the story is complicated and the fact that it's separated from the other games. I mean, they are constantly walking back. They know it's not a 9. They knew when they posted it's not a 9. But now that it's been in gamers' hands and they're constantly called out for this horrible 9 that they've given, I think they're trying to backtrack. So that at least leaves up for grabs who's going to win, because it might not be Veilguard now. It still could be, but I think the chances are going down because it's just too pathetic of a game to give Game of the Year. The game is fucking terrible. But yeah, so here's how the voting is going to go. 90% of the vote is going to go from the jury. I verified this over here. How are the winners selected? Winners are determined by a blended vote between voting jury 90% and the public fan voting is only 10%. Fans can vote for their favorite games in the GamingAwards.com, or in China, they can go to Bilibili. So why would they do this? Oh, I have a theory. And the beginning and ending of that theory is Wukong, because if you allow us to choose the game, this is going to be it. It's going to be the #1 vote in America, and it's going to be the #1 vote in China. So that not only are they sending the Chinese people to a different website, but they're going to make sure that as gamers as a whole only count for 10%. So we're not going to be able to push the vote hard enough to make sure that the actual best game released all year is able to win the award. And on the jury, of course, is Pride, a web mag that doesn't even focus on games and solely exists to push activism. They're going to vote for Veilguard. You can guarantee that. IGN, everything's a 7 unless it's Veilguard, which gets a 9. They gave Wukong an 8, which is just a low ball for that game. I mean, that is a 9-10 game period. NPR, famous for their neutral reporting, and they don't do anything with video games. Kind of funny. I just posted a video about Andy Cortez directly attacking with Lie Smash JT, and he still hasn't retracted it as of recording this because the dude's a big, giant, pathetic piece of garbage. PC Gamer, who just published the bullshit ADL report about Steam normalizing hate and extremism in gaming. I mean, the ADL has lost its mind probably about a decade and a half ago, and now they just basically just fire and just everyone just catches strays from the ADL. I mean, that's pretty much their job now. None of this represents gamers or what gamers value. Most of these outlets are slandering gamers, gaslit them, or pushing DEI in gaming, and that is pretty much all you see on that list. I mean, the fact that they have freaking Verge on there, holy shit. I mean, those guys are like clueless idiots when it comes to games. Get real. So he says the Game Awards has a curious pick for their jury and it has nothing to do with great games. So I don't even think it's curious at all. I think we saw something like this coming a mile away. I was wondering if they were going to just leave Wukong off altogether because you know they don't want it to win. But I think they just absolutely have to add it. But how do you fix the vote? Oh, make sure the fans can only vote 10%. And then all the jury, they can count 90%. And then that's how we can fix the vote. So, I mean, the fix is actually absolutely in. So with this information, I do wonder, because they even have a jury of 100 different sites and people to decide what games are even going to be nominated for Game of the Year. So that leads me to question, will Wukong be on there? I think it will. Space Marine 2 should be on there, correct? We all know Veilguard's going to be on there regardless of if it belongs. Will we see sneaky, crappy attempts to see Dustborn put on there? What else are we going to see? I would be interested to see if Suicide Squad gets on there. We know Concord's not going to be on there. I'm sure that was one they had their eye on before it got absolutely canned. We all know the modern audience doesn't buy the very things that they claim to support on X. I mean, these people can't even stay on X right now as they flee from the platform because it's so toxic and mean because people have different opinions. So we have to go to Blue Sky. Meanwhile, all of us stayed right on X, waiting and fighting the good fight as good as we could. And then the only reason people really left to other places is because they were getting banned and shadow banned and they couldn't actually speak. So even with people who compare those two things, it's not the same. Okay, that was a tangent, all right? But you agree, right? Of course you do. But yeah, when it comes down to the voting, and to see what's even nominated, I don't support the Game Awards at all. It's obviously a giant, big piece of garbage organization, but it is one of the oldest, longest running video game awards that we have. So it garners my attention as far as, yeah, I want to at least see what's going on, because what it does is it might not show us the state of gamers and our opinions, but it does show us the state of gaming. And I think that is the most interesting part about it. It is the litmus test of where is the industry and who's running the show. Because to me, it's clear that the Game Awards and those people in charge that are all very busy owning the chuds don't actually take the gamers and our voices and our opinions into any real account. I mean, this is how they're making games right now. They don't care about us, which is so strange because we're the ones who are supposed to consume the games, right? 10% is what they give us in our voice, which is so crazy to me because our voice is resounding through the industry. It is absolutely driving the industry right now as far as who's buying what and who's aware. I think right now consumer awareness is at an all-time high in the gaming industry, and you better believe it right now that they don't like it, and those judges and juries, they don't like it. All these places are running websites that are starting to hit the ground and die. I mean, look what happened to Kotaku. The Verge has been cut too. We've seen IGN with layoffs. There's going to be more to come. It's going to be interesting to see of what's there on the jury this year. Who's going to be left standing after 2025 is over? So anyway, I really think that even though the Game Awards are garbage, clearly it is something to keep an eye on because it is a litmus test of the industry. I just think that's an interesting take. Let me know what you think in the comments below about this whole situation because there's a lot to put into it. I'd be interested to hear, are you going to boycott it? Are you going to watch at all? Are you just going to kind of see the coverage a little bit? I wonder if Jeff Knightley even really wants to be a part of this anymore. Where does he stand on the situation? There's just so many questions. I feel like there's so many questions with this. Don't forget to follow me on X. I'm JayViper TV over there. I'm still banned and I need your support to get me up while I'm down, okay? And while you're here, if you like the content, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so I can see you on the next one. I'm out of here. Love you, mate. Peace. Bye, everybody.